Shut the barn door. Holy flick! We're actually boiling down sap and making maple syrup today. I've wanted to do this for years, never had the time to do it. Finally tapped the trees this year, and I can't believe it. I'm making maple syrup. Stick around and let's watch the fun unfold. Hi everybody, another beautiful sunny morning out here at the property. I've fired up the tractor and have a fire going in the burn pit, which is essentially going to become the evaporator, remember, for the maple syrup process. I have the 5-gallon bucket, which is filled with sap that we're going to boil down today. And I say we because my 15-year-old son is joining me out here today. He's made it his wish that he not be, or his face not be on camera. So we're going to respect that, but you're going to see my son walking around and helping out with the maple syrup activities today. If you've been watching a few of my videos, you know that I have this 1939 antique tractor, a Ford 9N. It's fully refurbished and it works extremely well. I've used it for snow removal for much of the winter. Again, you've seen this in the videos. With the snow melting and the snow level going down, I can actually get on the tractor and head out instead of either skiing or snowshoeing to collect the sap at this time. It is difficult to carry back 2 5-gallon buckets while cross-country skiing or snowshoeing. So being able to get out with the tractor now makes life much easier. And I do not have a snowmobile. Be nice to have one, but I don't. We've arrived at the first bucket, and there's my son having his first look inside a sap bucket to see what's going on and to let me know if it's time to collect this bucket. Could be a challenge in the sense that the sap looks like it's frozen to the inside of the bucket. I don't know if we can get a shot of that. So let's see if it comes out. There we go. Okay everyone, this is the first bucket of sap that we collected, close to 5 gallons, and we're going to try to get a little bit obviously into this first pan here and get it underway and try to boil some of this down. I guess we're going to have to get that second pan on there, right?
Yeah. Did you bring jars?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I did. James just asked me if I brought some jars, and I did, so that we can put the sap in it. The issue now, James, is that we just need to keep that fire going.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of sap to make maple syrup. And to boil it down, we've got to keep this fire going for hours, literally hours, to boil all the water out of the sap so that we can turn it into maple syrup. Ideally, we'd be using hardwood for this fire, but I have that huge pile of offcuts from all the spruce, so that's what we're going to use to fuel this fire.
So you guys can see just barely in the background there, we've got the maple sap boiling away. But I need to get some more wood cut to fuel the fire. So it's going to get a little noisy, but you're going to see me cut up quite a bit of this, quite a few of these offcuts into about 12 to 18 inch lengths so I can chuck them into the fire pit over there and continue boiling the sap.
Once the fire is going and the sap is in place, you spend much of the day collecting the wood and taking it to the fire pit and just feeding that thing all day long so that sap boils. I added these two L-beams that you see here now on the top of the fire pit to give the grill that the two pans were sitting on some more rigidity and strength. It was sagging quite a bit under the weight of the sap in these two pans. I also like this clip because, as you can see as I speed it up here, you get a good feel over this time period through this time lapse, the amount of wood that is in the fire and being consumed over time. The hard work paid off because, as you can see, we started to have a very strong boil within the hour. The other pan starts to boil very shortly. I'm not going to show it right now, but it does start to boil as well. It is just about midday. I don't know the time exactly, but it really is about noon. And I'm definitely not going to put any more sap in these pans. I added some sap about an hour ago, bringing them right back up to the top edge of the pan, so there has been quite a bit of evaporation already. And hopefully in the next few hours we'll see quite a bit more evaporate and we can be out of here by 3 or 4 o'clock. That could be dreaming in Technicolor. Let's find out. Some effort and planning are needed to make this work. You've got to get your trees tapped, you've got to make sure you have the firewood in place. But despite all this effort and hard work, we came to enjoy today and to eat well.
But we brought out some things for some lunch today. We've got leftover pizza, which I'm going to warm up in the grill. But also we've got some sausages, 3 sausages. We'll each have a sausage and a half. And we'll get it started by putting some butter in this pan and getting it on the fire there. What do you think, Jim?
What happens if you move slower?
Oh, I can't wait to dig into this. Sausage and pizza warmed up on the campfire. And all I did was take the sawhorses and some of the leftover wood, create a little table, and we've got a beautiful place to have a nice meal in the open air on a warm spring day. Warmed up pizza. The crust is crustier and it's great. Blue, you have to get down, honey. No. Sit. Okay, stay down. Oh, this is really good. Hot, but really good. So here's where we are in comparison when we started with 2 full pans of sap. The pan on the left, I've just thrown some snow because I've poured its contents into the pan on the right. So the pan on the left is just for cleaning right now. And the pan on the right has the sap boiling down and slowly becoming syrup. You can actually see it's taking on a brown coloration. So I think we've done a pretty decent job. We're getting there, and we might come out with a little jar, a decent sized jar tonight after I finish boiling it off at home, and I'll try to take some video to show that process as well. And then the other thing I'd like to mention quickly, well maybe not quickly, is that while this is my first time doing this, to my father's grandfather, they had a farm out in eastern Ontario, 100 acres, classic situation. Most of those farms as well had sugar bushes. So my great-grandfather would head off into the back 40 or the back acres of that property, tap the trees, and he'd come out with jugs and jugs and jugs of maple syrup. So that is one of the reasons why I'm definitely interested in trying to do this each spring. There's obviously some family heritage there. And of course, because we use maple syrup. So I make it, we use it, it's going to be fantastic.
Almost 4 hours later and the boiling is complete. Time to get it off the fire. The next step involves the first level strain and put it in this container so I can then take it home and do the final boil.
Oh yeah, that tastes like maple syrup. That needs to be boiled down some more, but that is quite a bit of maple syrup. That is pure gold. Oh my God, I'm thrilled.
So I literally just got the pot going on the stove at home, got it on full, the burner on full, and it's starting to heat up. Good sized pot. And again, this is a little run. I've tapped 8 trees. This is the first batch, the first 8 gallons to come off of those trees. It's the first time I've done this, so to get this far I'm really pleased. And I think once this comes to a boil, I'll be able to monitor the temperature with this thermometer that I bought the other day. I've got the instructions in terms of what I'm trying to get to in terms of a boil level. I should pretty soon have some maple syrup. So looking forward to this. I have the fan on overhead, that's the noise you're hearing, and that's the boil that I have going at this time. I just took an initial reading and the temperature was up around 102 Celsius, which is about 215 Fahrenheit. It's getting foamier in terms of the bubble surface. It is coming along quite nicely right now, and to my surprise, the temperature on the thermometer is actually around 106. So I think I'm getting very close to the point of being within a degree or two of actually being able to call this syrup. Getting quite foamy, and this is exactly what's supposed to happen. The temperature gauge is literally, the thermometer is literally showing 107, 108 Celsius, which is essentially bang on. I think we've got maple syrup here. Oh my God, am I pleased this is working out. This is such a thrill to be able to, tap a few trees, collect the sap, boil it on a makeshift fire pit, and then be able to turn it into actual maple syrup. So I'm just going to strain it with this coffee filter and call it a day. Well, I cannot believe I've done this. I am, I don't know if anybody can, jars are quite hot. They need to cool a bit. But if everybody can see that, two jars of maple syrup, boiled, strained coming out of the first boiling pot out of the property, and strained again here, 2 times, going into the pot for boiling and then coming out of the pot for boiling. Oh my God, this is fantastic. There's much more to come. I've got sap hopefully running for another week or 2, if not more, and I'm just going to keep making maple syrup on the weekends. This is awesome. You know, I know it's only maple syrup, and I realize people have been doing this for hundreds of years, if not thousands of years. But boy, to do something like this on your own the first time, you feel great. And this is quite hot still, but I'm still going to give it a taste. That is the real deal, and it tastes fantastic.